baby for a moonlight drive in a diesel. She sure looks cute in her little white suit in a diesel. We searched in vain down Lover's Lane in a diesel. But it's rough to find a place with enough parking space on a moonlight drive in a diesel. I've been out 4 days on a 2-day run in a diesel. You can't make much time when you're 2 days behind in a diesel. Got another gal at home, been waiting all alone for this diesel. Well, I might make a slip that'll give her a tip about my moonlight trip in a diesel. Well, we even tried to go to a drive-in show in a diesel. But that mean old ticket man said we couldn't get in no diesel. When we left that place, we blowed smoke in his face from this diesel. But it's breaking baby's heart, we can't find a place to park on our moonlight drive in a diesel. It's a getting daylight, I've been driving all night in a diesel. Running up and down every alleyway in town in a diesel. How can you spark when there's no place to park in a diesel? The man that made the console bucket seats didn't know about a moonlight drive in a diesel. Signs, white lines, and roadside signs. I've spent my life behind the wheel of a big red diesel hauling steel, making a living for those kids of mine, keeping to the right of the little white lines. I can recall when I was a boy, a homemade truck was my only toy. I would save the feedsack twine and use it in the dirt for my little white line. White lines and roadside signs, white lines and roadside signs. I'm so proud that my life's been good. I wouldn't change it if I could. For travel and reading broadens your mind, and I've read a lot of roadside signs. When I die, Lord, mark my way, so this truck driver won't go astray. The gates of heaven I'll surely find by keeping to the right of the little white line. White lines and roadside signs, white lines and roadside signs, white lines and roadside signs, white lines. There's a lot of habits I know that I should break, like dating every waitress at all the stops I make. Because the last thing that I heard my little woman say is don't make too many stops along the way. There's just too many stops along the way. Not nearly time enough for making hay. A man like me needs more than 24 hours in a day, 'cause there's just too many stops along the way. There's an at least one girl at every stop I make, counting every minute till I take my break. Because I've got just what it takes and they all want me to stay, but there's just too many stops along the way. There's just too many stops along the way. Not nearly time enough for making hay. A man like me needs more than 24 hours in a day, 'cause there's just too many stops along the way. My log's booked up in advance, you see, and the pace I'm keeping is almost killing me. But you can bet I won't give up until my dying day, although there's too many stops along the way. There's just too many stops along the way. Not nearly time enough for making hay. A man like me needs more than 24 hours in a day, 'cause there's too many stops along the way. 'Cause there's too many stops along the way. Motorcycle Bill was the name on his black leather jacket. When he climbed on that wheel, you couldn't hear your ears for the racket. He'd pull the throttle open and go thundering up the hill, both pipes blazing, what Motorcycle Bill. Everybody said he was a young and reckless boy, that high speed and danger was his greatest joy. They said he was a fool for the way that he rode, nothing but a menace to the people on the road. Then one day when Bill was riding like he did, he met a school bus loaded down with kids. The driver screamed, "I can't slow it down, the brakes are gone," and Bill wheeled around. For he knew there was a car stalled down at the bottom of the hill. If he couldn't win the race, someone would surely be killed. So he pulled the throttle open, like a bullet he did go, and helped the man push the car from the road. Just in time for the school bus to pass safely through. He might have been a fool, but the things a fool will do. From that day on, when he rode for a thrill, I heard not a word against Motorcycle Bill. Motorcycle Bill was the name on his black leather jacket. When he climbed on that wheel, you couldn't hear your ears for the racket. He'd pull the throttle open and go thundering up the hill, both pipes blazing, what Motorcycle Bill. Both pipes blazing, what Motorcycle Bill. Both pipes blazing, what Motorcycle Bill. This old sleeper cab's my home, sweet home. I'm always on the road, rolling on. Any highway, state or interstate mile on. This old sleeper cab's my home, sweet home. My house number's just a decal on the door. That old stack's just my chimney with a roar. I got a windshield picture window for a view, and a radio to drive away the blues. This old sleeper cab's the only home I've got, no matter if I'm on the road or not. I got a bucket seat to rest my weary soul, and 16 forward gears to let her roll. This old sleeper cab's my home, sweet home. No trucker ever leaves the road for long. I've quit 100 times, I thought I could, but now I know the road is in my blood. When I start to get too old to gear down, and the lines on the road are growing dim, I'll find a roadside park just out of town, my mailbox on her hood and settle down. This old sleeper cab's my home, sweet home. I'm always on the road, rolling on. Any highway, state, or interstate's my lawn. This old sleeper cab's my home, sweet home. This old sleeper cab's my home, sweet home. This old sleeper cab's my home, sweet home. For 22 years of my 42 years, I've been driving big trucks. That's a lot of time spent without scratch or a dent, and I think I've been pushing my luck. So as soon as I pull into Memphis today, I hope I can make it by 5. I'm signing my papers and walking away. I'm quitting while I'm still alive. I'm quitting while I'm still alive. That diesel smoke's ruining my nose and my eyes. After 22 years of that noise in my ears, I'm quitting while I'm still alive. I've seen too many punks while driving drunks, these fellows I've known marked for life. Seen too many men and too many rigs burn up in a hot, hellish sight. Now my kidneys are shot, and what sense I've still got, I'm using to try to survive. So tell all the jocks that my rig's on the block. I'm quitting while I'm still alive. I'm quitting while I'm still alive. That diesel smoke's ruining my nose and my eyes. After 22 years of that noise in my ears, I'm quitting while I'm still alive. After 22 years of that noise in my ears, I'm quitting while I'm still alive. That diesel driving donut Dunkin' Dan, he comes in and orders donuts and a big glass of milk, and the line he hands the waitresses is just as smooth as silk. Before too long they're calling him their big truck driving man, that diesel driving donut Dunkin' Dan. Diesel driving donut Dunkin' Dan, known from coast to coast as the man with the plan. He's got the girl all waiting for that pretty wedding band, that diesel driving donut Dunkin' Dan. He puts money in the jukebox and turns it way up high. The girls all rush to wait on him while he gives them the eye. Before he leaves, he's got 'em making all their wedding plans, that diesel driving donut Dunkin' Dan. Diesel driving donut Dunkin' Dan, known from coast to coast as the man with the plan. He's got the girl all waiting for that pretty wedding band, that diesel driving donut Dunkin' Dan. That diesel driving donut Dunkin' Dan. That diesel driving donut Dunkin' Dan. 'Cause it's the only shoulder, and it's the lonely shoulder, but it's the only shoulder trucker can cry on. When I roll this truck 1,000 miles from home, it seems the distance puts me in this world alone. And when my heart gets as heavy as my load, I pull over on the shoulder of the road, 'cause it's the only shoulder, and it's a lonely shoulder, but it's the only shoulder a trucker can cry on. You'd never think that a big truck driver cries. Why, he's as tough as steel, got a heart that's cold as ice. It just ain't true, but just another trucker knows why I'm pulled over on the shoulder of the road. It's the only shoulder, and it's a lonely shoulder, but it's the only shoulder a trucker can cry on. Feeling tired and weary from my head down to my shoes. Feeling tired and weary from my head down to my shoes. Got a low down feeling here and I'm right on time. I've got a few more curves and one more hill to climb. I've got my engine revved up as fast as it will go. If I can get by that highway patrol, highway patrol, highway patrol. Well, I'll be all right if I can keep them in sight, highway patrol. Now the limit is 50 and they enforce it well. The last time they got me, I spent 3 days in jail. But the boss man told me to let those big wheels roll. There's a big bonus waiting if you get by the highway patrol. Highway patrol, highway patrol. Well, I'll be all right if I can keep them in sight, highway patrol. Well, there's someone waiting and she's a pretty little thing. With the bonus I get, I can buy that wedding ring. Then it won't be long till we can take that stroll. If I can get by that highway patrol, highway patrol, highway patrol. Well, I'll be all right if I can keep them in sight, highway patrol, highway patrol, highway patrol. There's a number you can call. We need one for a man that gets hung up on an old pinball. It's payday night and there's a man who's gonna try his luck. A working man and an old machine and both of them lit up. You'd better call Pinball Anonymous. He's playing that thing again. He's got the 17 and the 20 now. He's trying to get the 10. Spent $40 on an extra ball and tilted that thing again. You'd better call Pinball Anonymous for him. A traveling man leads a lonely life and the chance of fame is small. So he gets his kicks from a roll of nickels and a little old silver ball. Pinball in the truck stops all over the USA. When you get hooked on that old machine, you'll hear somebody say, you'd better call Pinball Anonymous. He's playing that thing again. He got the 17 and the 20 now. He's trying to get the 10. Spent $40 on an extra ball and tilted that thing again. You'd better call Pinball Anonymous for him. Well, a pinball machine's a big old thing that backs up against the wall. Now it just lights up and stands there, taking on one and all. If you get hooked on the pinball, you'll sure regret the day. Cause you'll go broke a nickel at a time and you hear somebody say, you better call Pinball Anonymous. He's playing that thing again. He's got the 17 and the 20 now. He's trying to get the 10. Spent $40 on an extra ball and tilted that thing again. You'd better call Pinball Anonymous for him. You'd better call Pinball Anonymous for him. Well, I left California with a trail a load of oranges. I was heading down Georgia way. Met an old pal of mine with a load of watermelons when we stopped for a coffee break. We were way ahead of schedule running brand new rigs. We decided we could kill a little time. We could wait a little longer, have a drink a little stronger, but we wound up out of our minds. Well, now you can't get much out of melons down in Georgia, so I gotta turn and head her toward home. I gotta find my buddy with my trailer load of oranges, and I don't even know where he's gone. It's just my luck to get the wrong darn truck now. I got myself in one fine fix. I don't claim to know it all, but I know that alcohol and number 2 diesel don't mix. No, alcohol and number 2 diesel don't mix. Now we're both running way behind. up. I got a load of watermelons and I just crossed the Georgia line. Now my baby's been a-waiting out in California for a man to come a-barreling in home. I called and started telling about the oranges and the melons. She swore that I wasn't alone. Well, she done a lot of guessing and she asked a lot of questions, and I heard the phone receiver click. Then she hung up on my call when I told her alcohol and number 2 diesel don't mix. No alcohol and number 2 diesel don't mix. Now we're both running way behind. We got our trucks mixed up. I got a load of watermelons and I just crossed the Georgia line. We got our trucks mixed up. I got a load of watermelons and I just crossed the Georgia line.